down in the dirt. Been real bad. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I've been down in the dirt. Down in the dirt. Down in the dirt. Down in the dirt.
Good evening, race fans. We are here at Darlington Speedway with the LSRL Xfinity Series Wilder Graphix 120 lap event tonight. We've got just about 4.5 minutes left before qualifying is going to start. I'm going to talk a little bit about last week's race, which I was unable to attend, but my partner in crime up here in the booth, she's currently having some minor microphone issues. She's going to try to get those figured out, but I'm going to bring up the results from last week, and we'll talk a little bit about last week's race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Cameron Hearn was able to take the win there at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Logan Powers finishing second, Anthony Giuliano finishing third, Brandon Thornhill coming across fourth, and Leonard Frost finishing in the 5th position. So good points night overall for all those drivers. Currently leading your season standings is Cameron Hearn with quite a lead of about 140. No, sorry, 104. Yeah, 104 points. So Cameron Hearn off to a very good start. Leonard Frost is in 2nd place. In the standings, Brandon Thornhill, Joseph Murata, Aaron Hearn top 5. Aaron Hearn, big mover last week, moved up 2 positions. Anthony Giuliano in 7th. He moved up 4. So little bit of info on last week's race. As we head into tonight, we'll definitely be expecting to see some interesting racing. Darlington, a very unique track. My grandson says hello. But very unique track. It's actually kind of egg-shaped. We'll see if we can get kind of a blimp view on one of these cars that is out on track right now, or at least heading out on track. It's going to be a little bit difficult to actually to see it, but turns 1 and 2, it's more of a little bit larger radius as opposed to 3 and 4, a little bit tighter radius. So if you were to actually be able to see it from a little higher up in the sky, you would see that it is kind of egg-shaped. And we're watching Brandon Thornhill go around right now. He just went through 3 and 4, heading down that front stretch, excuse me, going into turn 1. You see how it's a much wider corner. The radius is quite a bit more. Got about a minute and 30 seconds left here in practice. Brandon Thornhill was late getting into practice, probably using this time to get as many laps as he can in. With that, we'll be back here in just a moment. There is the checkered session, or checkered state. We're going to get ready to go into qualifying. We see number 67 of Cameron Hearn coming out of the pits. We'll watch him as he comes off a pit road, brings it up on the track, and gets ready to start his qualifying. Looks like Mr. Hearn got up and touched the wall. He's going to go back get that car repaired and try to put down a better lap. Now that will cost him 1 lap, so he will only have 1 lap to qualify. If he makes another mistake, he will not get a qualifying time in. For those of you that may be out there and don't know, if you happen to touch the wall for any reason during your qualifying, if you get any incident points, touch the wall, touch the grass, anything like that, it disqualifies that lap. So that's why Cameron stopped, went back, got the new car, and is back out there on track. Cameron looking to get himself a good lap here. I'm sure he has backed it off just a little bit by comparison as to what he was originally intending to do. We'll see as that time comes in. That will, suppose if I actually brought up the qualifying ticker for you guys, that actually did spring him to the front of the pack. Hermie Sadler was sitting on the pole until Cameron went out there and took the pole from him. So Cameron Hearn putting down a quick time of 28.6. I'm sure there was probably a little bit more time there, but he had to be a bit conservative as to not get in the wall and disqualify himself from not being able to put in a qualifying time. Waiting to see some more drivers out there get out and head on to, as we see Logan Powers now. It looks like he may have damage on the right front. He may have gotten into the wall on his first lap. Yes, there's some damage on the side of his car. So this is his second lap. We'll see him go through 3 and 4 right tight up against the wall. Going to come down and see where he can score himself. Watch for that number 98 there with no time beside it, and he will jump up into the 3rd position. Dylan Gonas has made his first lap. He's put himself up in the 6th position, 6th starting position out there tonight as he gets ready to complete his 2nd lap. See if he improves on his time. Does not look like he did improve. Aaron Hearn coming out off of pit road now, getting ready to come up on the track to start his qualifying run with just about a minute left. He's going to be very lucky to get 1 lap in here with just a minute left. It takes about 28 seconds to get around, so he's going to have to make this his one and only lap. Drives it down hard into 1 and 2, gets it up nice against the wall, manages to get it down on the line coming off the corner there. Not sure if he touched the wall or not. And that will not put up a time, so Aaron Hearn must have touched the wall. Cade Ferguson not going to make a qualifying effort, nor is Greg Goodenough. So this will set your field right here. This is going to be your qualifying lineup for this evening. All right, as we get set here to start the evening off, we talked about Cameron Hearn taking the pole with a 28.669. Hermie Sadler is going to be sitting to his outside with a 28.707. Second row, Logan Powers, Brandon Thornhill. Third row, Brandon Murray, Dylan Gonas. Fourth row, Joseph Marotta. And Sean Hayes. Rolling off in the 5th row is going to be Andrew Brigante. I think that's right, Brigante. And Anthony Giuliano. Giuliano was quick in practice. I'm not sure why he didn't qualify, but needless to say, starting in 11th position, Leonard Frost, and in 12th, Jeff Converse. Rolling off 13th is going to be Craig Goodenough, 14th, Aaron Hearn, 15th, Kel Butler, and 16th, Cade Ferguson. And that will do it for the qualifying grid this evening. Cameron Hearn been doing very well in this series. Been putting on quite a show, I know, in the last few weeks. We'll see what he can do here tonight, taking that top spot. Taking the pole doesn't always mean you're going to be the fastest one out there, but it does usually indicate that you can get around this place. Now, we saw Anthony Giuliano in practice have I think he had the fast time. I don't know it for sure if Cameron ended up clipping him, but Anthony Giuliano looks like he can be fast here too, so that should be interesting. Lights on the pace car are off, so we are going to be going green this time. Sometimes at these shorter tracks it's 2 laps, but not tonight. Tonight we're going to be going green here momentarily with number 67 of Cameron Hearn, waiting for the green flag to drop. Green flag is out, and Cameron Hearn takes off. Hermie Sadler, had to check up a little bit not to be in front of the leader when the green flag dropped. Did not get a great start on that outside row as the 67 works his way to the front. Logan Powers slides into 2nd place. Brandon Murray in 3rd. Brandon Thornhill 4th. Dylan Gonas. Wow, Hermie Sadler has fallen all the way from the outside pole back to 8th position. Not sure if he got in the wall or is just being real easy on the tires early on here. Dylan Gonas up to the 5th position. Looking back at Kel Butler rounding out the field here in 16th position. A very colorful car there. Cade Ferguson 1 spot forward in the 42. Andrew Brigante in the number 15. Craig Goodenough working alongside Leonard Frost as they head down the front stretch. This is a little treacherous point on the racetrack to try to pass. The 161 does get in the wall. That tends to happen sometimes when there's passes attempted here. Jeffrey Converse in the 11th working his way up. Aaron Hearn finding himself in the 10th position. Anthony Giuliano, like I said, he was quick in practice. We'll see if he's saving tires and is going to start to bring up the pace here. The 47 car of Sean Hayes, currently in the 8th position. Sadler, as I had said, was fallen back. He's now moved back forward 1 position. Joseph Murata, currently in the 6th position. Dylan Gonas, talked about him just a minute ago, in 5th. Brandon Thornhill with some good runs here a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure exactly how last week went for him. Brandon Murray back out on track. I think he may have missed it last week. Currently running 3rd. Looks like he's tracking down the number 98 of Logan Powers. Going to try to put a little bit of pressure on that 98. This is probably the best battle that we've got out there on the track. As I look through the interval, that is actually very true. This is the closest battle that we have on the track. We have some that are very close. As we actually just had one change there. Anthony Hearn took the position from Anthony Giuliano. Not sure if something happened with Giuliano, if he got in the wall or what, but there was a position change there, as it looked like Logan Powers was getting a little bit tight coming off that corner. Cameron Hearn starting to kind of stretch it out just a little bit. He's now 1 second in front of this two car or dual car pack, Logan Powers and Brandon Murray. Brandon Murray looking very eager and very strong here. Wow, an attempt to kind of turn down through the middle of the corner tells me that the 98 is not getting through the corner very well. Brandon Murray seems to be getting through the center of the corner very well, carrying much more speed. Same here. The 98 is not getting through the corner, may not be hitting the marks where he needs to. As we watch this battle, I would hate to take my eye away from it because I believe that this is where the action is going to be here. Brandon Murray just being patient, trying not to force the issue. Very smart move on his part, being number one, that there's still 110 laps to go, and number two, he seems to be faster, so no reason to put himself into harm's way there. The gap has stabilized between first and second at about 1 second, and actually it looks like it may be coming down ever slightly. They did have it down to just about 9/10, but that gap is opening back up ever so slightly, about 1/10. We'll look around for another battle here. We look at the number 91 and the number 17. 17 going to make a move back around the number 91. Similar situation to what we'd seen before, but as we have an attempted crossover move, but Aaron Hearn letting the 17 go. That will move Anthony Giuliano up into the 8th position now. Another half second or so ahead of them is Joseph Murata. Brandon Murray now falling back from that second place car of Logan Powers. Logan may have been trying to save a little bit, driving a little bit differently. He tends to be a long run driver, so we'll watch and see if Logan can track down the number 67 car there of Cameron Hearn, and Cameron Hearn getting very close to the wall. Looked like Logan Powers did the same thing, just right there behind Cameron Hearn. Tires starting to give up a little bit, looks like. The cars are starting to slide up a little more than they do on fresh tires, but these guys can run quite a long distance on these. I would say that the fuel strategy or fuel window would be pretty much the halfway point, I would think. Don't take my word for it, I'm not positive, but probably around 50 to 60 laps, so might just be a one-stop night tonight. Logan Powers down to about 7/10. Brandon Murray falling back about 2.4. Brendan Thornhill about 3.8 now. Dylan Gonas, Hermie Sadler, Joseph Murata, Anthony Giuliano, all in a little pack here, but they're about 8 seconds back from the leader as Dylan Gonas gets into the fence there. Just a little bit of contact, but that's going to allow Hermie Sadler to drive down below him and clear him entering one, and Joseph Murata is going to go ahead and try to make that pass as well. Oh, it was a little bit of contact. Great job by Dylan Gonas keeping it out of the fence. May have just scraped the wall right there, but no, definitely not a lot of damage if he did scrape it, because he did it very gently. The old Darlington stripe, most of the cars that leave here tonight at some point will get themselves a little stripe on the side of the car, whether it's coming out of 2 and touching the wall there, or going through 3 and 4. Sometimes even through 1 and 2, the drivers will get a little bit too aggressive going into 1, drift it up high and touch the wall there. So you can do it basically in the middle of the corners and coming off the corners. So about 4 chances per lap that you can give yourself a little stripe on the side of that car. Logan Powers has closed it down to about 0.4 of a second, as we are already coming up on lap traffic. The number 15 car of Andrew Brigante has taken it down on the apron, letting these guys have clean racetrack. Very classy move on his part. And as we run now on lap number 18, the number 98 of Logan Powers has closed the distance here. He's now within about 0.3 of a second, so any kind of mistake here from Hearn and Powers will be all over him. And it looks like the number 98 just gave himself one of those Darlington stripes. He got into the wall very gently, so I'm sure it won't affect the speed of the car, but there's probably a little bit of scrapes on the right side of that car. Brandon Murray still holding in third position, but has fallen back about 4.7 seconds off. Brandon Thornhill falling off as well, but maybe not as bad, because it does seem like Brandon Thornhill is coming to the kind of catching up to the 13 car of Brandon Murray. Hermie Sadler, we had talked about how he had started on the outside row. He has worked his way back, fell all the way back to 8th position. He's fought his way back up to 5th position. There's only, I shouldn't say only, but there are 16 cars out there on the track, so definitely room to race out here. Should be able to get good racing, good lap times, clear track, not a lot of traffic to really deal with all at once. So now that these guys have gotten separated out, you'll be able to see who the truly faster guys are as they are about to go a lap down. And Sean Hayes there, he just got in the wall right in front of the leaders. I'm sure that was a scary moment for the 67 and the 98. Logan Powers still continuing to close that gap. It's down to 1/10.5. So we'll just consider that he's caught him and see now if Logan can do anything with him. That will be the question, is if there's anything that Logan can do now that he's basically caught him. As we see Brandon Murray and Brandon Thornhill about to get into a battle here for the 3rd position on the track, some 6+ seconds back. Leaders putting down a blistering pace here tonight. Check back up front, no change. Cameron Hearn still leading. Power still giving chase. Cameron Hearn had to check up hard in the middle of that corner. Logan Powers was not really able to make up as much of a gap there as I would have thought. Both cars seem to be rolling the center fairly easily. We'll watch a little closer down here in 3 and 4 and see how the car does to the center. Both drivers have a different approach to the entrance of turns 3 and 4 and the arc in which they turn the car and the angle. So it'll be interesting to see whose methodology works better for the tire part of it, saving the tires or making their tires last. We do know that Cameron Hearn is extremely fast, as Logan is going to make a challenge here on the bottom side. Decides probably not the best spot to do it right now, with 25 coming to 26 in the books. Cameron Hearn gets a little bit of breathing room. It's only about a car length, but he has a little bit of breathing room now. As we look back at Brandon Murray and Brandon Thornhill still battling it out for 3rd and 4th position. Hermie Sadler's kind of all by himself here. He's, I shouldn't say all by himself, but he does have about a 4-second gap in front of him and about a 1 or so second gap behind him. Leonard Frost In 7th is about 21 seconds back. Dylan Gonas 22 seconds back. Joseph Murata 24. Cade Ferguson 25 seconds back. Jeffrey Converse 27 seconds back. Craig Goodenough as the number 91 of Aaron Hearn has spun and towed, so that keeps us from getting a caution. And while we were talking about that, Logan Powers has made a move for the lead. We're going to go ahead and back it up and see if we can see where that happened. That was not it. I had seen something else happen. I thought that was it, but okay, so coming through to Cameron Hearn gets a little bit loose, gives that lead up to Logan Powers. So we'll see if Logan Powers can keep it up front. Aaron Hearn did a fantastic job of keeping it off the track, keeping the yellow from coming out. Unfortunately, that did put him in the pits. It'll put him multiple laps down. I'm not sure if he's going to be back out or not. We'll have to wait and see. Logan Powers, now your leader on lap 29 of 30. Took the lead a couple laps ago. Cameron Hearn keeping a relatively decent pace. He's only about a half a second back after he got loose there. Murray, Thornhill. Thornhill's down on the bottom, way down on the bottom. Very interesting approach to turns 3 and 4. Not something you normally see entering that low. Hermie Sadler, 12 seconds back. Anthony Giuliano, 13.3 seconds back. That's your top 6. Cameron Hearn trying to work his way back to the 98. He's just some 3 seconds back. All right, folks, about 31 of 120. We're going to run a quick commercial and we'll be right back.
I don't know what it is. I had to end up switching. Okay.
All right, and we're back live here at Darlington Speedway. We've got Rachel Thornhill back up here in the booth with us. She's had a little issue with the microphone. She seems like she's got it fixed. She's joining us back in the booth. Welcome, Rachel.
Hey, Ronald. How's it going?
Doing pretty well. We're on lap 34 of 120. Logan Powers showing that long run deal again like he did a couple weeks ago. I think he did it at Las Vegas as well. He seems to be like the long run kind of guy. Cameron Hearn came out, fired out of the cannon, took off, pulled away a little bit, and then Logan kind of ran him down. But he's not really being able to pull away extensively. Cameron's falling back a little bit, but he's not pulling away like I would kind of think that you would.
Right, like what he normally does. So yeah, I see he's about what 0.8 seconds behind Logan. But I mean, I pretty much assumed that these two are going to be battling it out for most of the night at the front. So.
And I think that may hold true here, depending on how far they can go. I estimate they can probably go probably to lap 60. So it'd be just a one-stop race. And I think that Cameron is going to have to figure out what he did wrong on that first run, if he's going to have a shot at anything here on the second half of this race. Now, if they pit before lap 60, then obviously that throws that all out the window. But as the laps go on, if we stay green and Logan is able to continue to run the pace that he's setting, again, he's not walking away from him, but he is slowly but surely adding a little more. It was 0.8 last or a couple laps ago. It's actually back down to 8. So either Cameron drove a better lap, or maybe Logan didn't drive the lap that he wanted to. But it's stabilized right now at 0.8 of a second.
Right, and it looks like back there you have Brandon Murray and Brandon Thornhill trying to battle it out. Thornhill did drop to the inside of Murray, but he's just not able to get that run to get around him.
The tires are gone. Here we go. Murray hard into the wall a couple of times. That's going to allow Thornhill to get beside him, but the tires are gone. You can see it there. Very evident that Thornhill could not get back in the throttle as much as he wanted to. He knew that if he stayed in the throttle, he was going to run right into the side of the 13. Very smart move for him to lift and live to see another day. But I'll tell you, these guys are falling back hard as Murray gets into the wall yet again. These guys are falling back pretty hard. Logan Powers and Cameron Hearn are just setting a ridiculous pace. Hermie Sadler 10-20 laps ago was 12 seconds back. He's 14 seconds back, but Brandon Murray and Thornhill were only like 7 seconds back, and they're now 14 seconds back. So not sure if Thornhill is faster at this point, just can't get around Murray, and that's slowly dragging him, the both of them back, or if Thornhill could get clear of Murray, if he'd be faster. But Hermie Sadler's catching them, so Hermie Sadler seems to be keeping a better pace than the two cars in front of him. Won't be long before he is right there with those two.
Yeah, and that's just thinking that Thornhill's trying to drop to the inside of Murray again, but he just doesn't. I'm guessing, like you mentioned, the tires are just gone, and he's just not able to really, get that run that he needs.
All right, so I was off. I thought that they could run longer, more, whatever than they could. We're seeing the leaders come down pit road. Looks like Logan Powers did it last lap. Hearn is in this lap. Thornhill.
Ooh, and Murray just spun around on the track.
Now, if he stays down low and goes to the pits, which I'm assuming he will probably do, just go in and go ahead and get his pit done since he's there anyways, he will. That'll keep the caution from coming out. Brandon Thornhill stays out. Brandon Murray, like we said, down pit road. Leonard Frost stays out for the time being. Cade Ferguson still out there. That puts Logan Powers. Wait for the update to see if he is a lap down or not. I'm not positive if he is. Waiting for the scoring. It is showing that he's on the lead lap, 25 seconds back. So there we go. There's the update. Cameron Hearn now coming out, waiting for the scoring to update. As we see Brandon Thornhill and the number 42 of Cade Ferguson come down. That'll leave Leonard Frost out there as the last driver that's going to come through for this pit cycle. As he comes down, looks like he is going to pit this time by Leonard Frost, relinquishing what will be the lead. He may not actually even lead a lap. He missed pit road. He had to go back out on track. That is going to... Ooh, this could be hairy. number 98 was coming on fresh tires. The 161 on older tires. Missed his pit, had to go all the way. He's going to have to go all the way back around here. All right, the 161 going to make an attempt to make it into pit road this time. Gets the car slowed down. He is going to get on pit road. The lead has been taken over by this number 98 car. The interesting thing here, and we've seen it before, Rachel, Cameron Hearn, for some reason, is 5 seconds back.
Yeah, that's really odd. But
Wow,
and then
the 68 is about to get lapped. There must have been something that happened to the 68 during his pit cycle. He was only half a lap behind, and he just got lapped. So
right.
something must have happened with the 68. I'm looking to see. Wow. Brandon Thornhill is in 4th position currently, and he is now a lap down. So the 98 did something that nobody else did, or everybody else messed up, because Cameron Hearn is 4 seconds back. We'll take a look at Hermie Sadler. He's on the lead lap, but he's 25 seconds back from the leader. So Hermie Sadler is at the start-finish line right now, and Logan Powers was just coming out of 4th. So we're about to possibly have 2 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I mean, for it to be a 25-second difference between first and third.
Well, pitting a few laps earlier will do that for you. It looks like Brandon Thornhill is slowly starting to pull back in on the 98. I think Brandon wants to get himself back on that lead lap, and I think Hermie Sadler may have a chance to pull back away here as well. They have a few laps fresher tires than the 98, but the 98 is fast, so it'll be interesting to see. It looked like Thornhill was closing in on him. We'll see if he can. After seeing that pit stop, I assume they're going to be pitting right around lap 80, maybe 81, something like that, and then they'll be racing it to the end from there. As we take a look back at the number 67 of Cameron Hearn, he has cut that lead down to 124. Let's take a look at him. He spun it on the backstretch. He's going to get going. See if he gets up to speed. I'm sorry, that's the front stretch. So no caution. See if he comes up to speed or not. He's not coming up to speed. I would hope that he's going to stay down below the line. Okay, there he goes. He goes into the pits, as well as Dylan Gonas. Dylan Gonas down pit road. I tell you, Brandon Thornhill's coming. He wants that lap back, and he's going to have to, I'd say he's going to have to earn it pretty hard. I don't think Logan is running very hard right now. Cameron Hearn is closing the gap quite rapidly. He was 4+ seconds back. He's now only 2.8 seconds back. This is classic Cameron Hearn.
Right. I mean, Cameron is known to figure out something with the car, but doesn't actually burn his stuff up. Like he still conserves, but he's just fast. And so, yeah, for Thornhill though, for him to be able to get back on that lead lap, I'm just not sure how much he wants to run like as hard, because of the fact that he could end up burning up his tires. So it really just depends on how hard he wants to push him.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think you want to push too hard. But if we look at Brandon Murray in relationship, okay, Brandon Thornhill is coming out of 2 right now. Brandon Murray is actually not that far behind. It does not look like. Let me check that one more time. I'm going to wait till I get to the start-finish line and see if I can do a comparison that way. Brandon Thornhill trying to make a move. He's at the start-finish line. Brandon Murray is just coming out of 2. Nope, sorry, that was 4. So probably about a 3 to 4 second difference. 4.8 seconds actually. I just got the interval to come up properly. So yeah, Thornhill probably doesn't want to run too hard and give Murray a chance to catch him, but at the same time, if Brandon's fast enough to get around the leader, as the leader brushes the wall there, oh wow, something happened with Cameron Hearn. Cameron Hearn down on pit road and off track. He has taken it to the hauler. What a turn of events there. You now have just 2 cars on the lead lap. And make that 3 because Brandon Thornhill just passed the leader. So Brandon Thornhill getting his lap back the hard way.
Right. I think Thornhill was able to really get that run on Powers because he did brush the wall twice. So that really slowed him down. So that kind of gave Thornhill the advantage. So
there's the number 9 car. If you caught it when I switched the cameras, you could actually see Brandon Thornhill and your leader, Logan Powers, in the background there. We'll leave the camera at this angle here momentarily. You should be able to see it down the backstretch when the camera changes. Sadler up into the wall. Does not cost him a lot of time. This angle right there. There's Thornhill and Powers in the background trying to move their way forward. Interval between Sadler and Thornhill is 1.5 seconds, so we'll keep an eye on that. Logan Powers, really, honestly, folks, I don't mean to be mean. I'm not really going to pay much attention to Logan unless something happens to him out there on the track. He can pretty much he can pretty much coast. He's got basically a lap on the entire field. I know Brandon Thornhill just got his lap back from him, but he's got 60 laps to go, and he can pretty much just run, a good lap. It doesn't have to be spectacular. He's obviously ran some really good laps and put a ridiculous gap on the whole field. Cameron Hearn made a mistake. I'm assuming that's why he went to the pits. Must have made some sort of mistake that put him way behind. And he took it to the garage. Maybe he might have broke a car, not sure.
Right. And with Logan, Hermie Sadler's the only one that could possibly do something, but Hermie is 28 seconds back.
Well, and actually, if you look at it, Hermie is being closed on by the 68 car. So the 68 car is actually faster than Hermie is right now. We're only halfway through the run, so Brandon may be pushing a little too hard. I don't believe so. That's just my own personal opinion. I think that he's putting down a good pace. We'll actually obviously have to wait and see, but the gap is now, I told you it was 1.5 seconds a few laps ago. It's down to 0.7, so he's cut that in half. He is slowly but surely gaining on Hermie Sadler. I think that if Brandon Thornhill puts together this race and just keeps himself clean, does everything that he's been doing, he's looking at a second place finish, possibly. And if for some reason, somehow, if Powers were to make a mistake or, get into it with a lap car or anything else, there'd be an opportunity there for the 68, excuse me, to really capitalize.
Right. No, I agree with you. Right now, there's not too much of a gap between him and Hermie.
The 9 just got into the wall really hard. Oh, they got real close. They almost touched going down the backstretch there. 68 just blows by the number 9 car. The number 9 car is now going to fall back into the clutches of Logan Powers. We'll see if Hermie's able to get the car back up to speed. I don't think it did a lot of damage, just kind of bounced off the wall a little bit. Gonna have a nice stripe on that right side. Now this is what I was talking about. The 98 does not need to go play with the number 9. He just needs to drive. You know, if the number 9 makes a mistake, gets into the wall, and then gets into the 98, that could be catastrophic for the 98.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, Logan doesn't really have to lap Hermie Sadler. I mean, he can just sit back there, like you mentioned, and just ride, because I mean, it's not hurting anything. I mean, you know, they're so far behind that it wouldn't make much of a difference. So.
No, looks like Brandon Thornhill is now about 28.8 seconds in front of your leader. So again, I mean, with fresh tires, they can run a 28-second lap. So basically, Brandon Thornhill is a full lap down. He is in front of him, but on new tires, he would be basically a full lap down in terms of the interval. But he is slowly but surely continuing to pull further away. And I think the 98 may have either hurt us, or maybe the 9 is kind of straightened himself out. I'm not sure, but the 98 is now got himself about a 6 car length gap between the 98 and the 9 in front of him.
Yeah, I did notice that he kind of just set back a little bit. I mean, and honestly, for him, that's a good thing, because if for some reason something would happen where Hermie would get into the wall again, then, you know, he's not too close to him to where it could potentially affect his line or him running into him. So.
And as we pick back up, I was just kind of going through the cars there. Y'all could see that. Brandon Murray currently running in the 4th position. He is the first car 1 lap down in front of him, 9 seconds in front of him. And I do believe that the next car in front of him is the leader. So, or I'm sorry, that would be Brandon Murray. So he's not quite 9 seconds behind the leader. Brandon Thornhill continuing to run, still shaving off a little by little, but it's not going to be anything drastic here. For Thornhill to have a real shot as we look at somebody down on the apron, that's the 15 car of Andrew Brigante, I think it is. Anyways, he got it back up on the track, no caution. These guys have done a good job tonight of keeping the cars on the racing surface, but when they get in trouble, they keep it off the racing surface and keep the caution from coming out. I don't think anybody, in my personal opinion, I don't think anybody wants to see the caution come out. We know Logan's fast. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Brandon Thornhill would want the caution to come out. I'm not sure. I don't know what he thinks about this place. But I do know that Logan was really fast. The 5 car now down on the backstretch. He is rolling. I'm not sure what happened with him, but he is slowly rolling to the pits.
Ooh, and as for that, Anthony Giuliano just got into the wall, but he just brushed it. It ended up, and he was able to save it. So,
Brandon Thornhill getting into the wall now. The tires are starting to come into play. Brandon had a good gap. He was stretching it out. I do believe that his early running, trying to get his lap back, has come back to haunt him, so to speak. He's going to have to drive the car a little bit differently and keep it clean. Hermie Sadler kind of closing the distance a little bit. Logan Powers right there. Again, as I said earlier, Brandon in the wall all the way through 3 and 4. Tires are more than likely gone. He's going to want to pit pretty much as soon as the pit window opens and not overdrive the car and hurt his chances for, to come home in that second place finish.
Yeah, and I mean, for him, if he does pit, right whenever that pit window comes in to play, as long as he doesn't have any issues on pit road, he shouldn't have any problems, keeping that second place position.
And I think that is maybe what happened the first time, because he was not that far back. Maybe he got like a 15-second penalty or something on pit road. Hermie Sadler being smooth after getting into the wall early. I think he saved his tires. I think Brandon was a little bit faster at the time, but Hermie Sadler starting to make his way back. I don't know that he'll get to him. Maybe. He's cut it down 2/10 in 1 lap. Only about a half a second back. Getting to him and passing him on this old of tires could be treacherous. So I don't think you'll see a pass here, but I think we're going to see Brandon Thornhill in pits as soon as it's available. Hermie Sadler getting really close here. Thornhill back into the wall again. Sadler closing to within a half a car length. See, he's not going to try to make a move here. If I'm Brandon, I'm not going to overdrive the car, and I'm just going to let Hermie go if I have to. But I would think that they're coming up within their pit cycle window. The leader is basically 1 lap full ahead, so it'd be basically lap 80 for him. Everybody else is on lap 79 or lower. Brandon Thornhill, Hermie Sadler to the bottom here. This is where it can get dangerous.
He just pretty much let him go, and which was the right thing to do. Not try to overdrive it, because the tires are just where they want them to be right now.
So all of this in front of the leader. The leader's gotta be sitting here a little bit nervous. You've seen Thornhill get in the wall a few times. You saw Sadler get in the wall earlier. Being the leader with this kind of a lead, I mean, you literally have the second and third place cars sitting right in front of you. If something were to happen to one or the other or both of them and you get caught up in it, they're going the chance that it could end your race would just, that would kill me.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's kind of why I've noticed there's quite a few times where Logan just kind of rides back, like kind of sets himself back, stretched out between the rest of the cars, and I don't blame him. That's the perfect strategy right now, because he doesn't need to push it.
And we're going to have him coming down. He says, I've had enough. I'm just going to bring it down pit road. So Logan just doesn't need to he just needs to be good on this stop. No mistakes. Hopefully he didn't speed coming in. Be smart. Don't speed going out. And, this thing's pretty much wrapped up with a bow on it right now.
Right. And then, you've got, Hermie Sadler and Brandon Thornhill stayed out. Brandon Murray still stayed out. And he's 42 seconds behind Logan Powers. So
right. So right now Logan Powers is on the lead lap now, right? So he's coming out of his pits. The leaders still have to the leaders still have to pit yet, so to speak. I'm not sure if that'll put him a lap down or not. I don't think so. Waiting for the scoring and timing to update, but Hermie Sadler and Brandon Thornhill do stay out. If I was Thornhill, I would have ducked down sooner. Just not burn my tires up, because he was faster. It's not anymore. It's not about getting back on the lead lap. It's about beating that car in front of you, and a surefire way to do it is a short pit. So I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't come down and gotten tires and try to out strategize.
From what it's showing right now, Logan Powers is, it says that he's 14 seconds back.
Yeah, he's 14 seconds back with fresh tires, so he has taken his last set of tires. He's going to close on these guys very rapidly. His last lap was a 28.9. They are running 31-second laps. Oh, Thornhill going to have to try hard to get it woed up. He does get it woed up. I think he's going to, manages to get it to go down pit road. That was close. Hermie Sadler, the last one to, because of the lead lap thing. Well, that's not true. Brandon Murray did go down pit road this time as well. We'll see if Hermie stays out. Hermie may be staying out, trying to catch a caution, which would set him up to be, just him and Logan on the lead lap. So you never know. Hermie may run it until it's completely dry, hoping for a caution and just living with the results if it doesn't happen. If it does happen, he was the outside pole sitter, so he can be fast. And right, here he comes down pit road this time. We'll see if he gets it woed up. Looks like he's going to have no problem getting it onto pit road as long as he doesn't speed coming in. That's going to turn the lead back over to Logan Powers. Now, Logan Powers had literally chopped that lead in half. It was down to less than 8 seconds when Hermie Sadler pitted.
Right, and currently it's still Hermie Sadler is it's still like 8.9 seconds as of right now.
Bad news on the horizon. The 68 coming back down pit road. I'm not exactly sure what
he could have had a speeding penalty, because he did it was kind of close the way that he came in. So
wow, that's got to be a heartbreak for Brandon Thornhill. It almost seems like he's just coasting. I can't see the mile per hour, but it seems like he's coasting more than, we'll see though.
I actually found out though his car is messed up. He's in for repairs. He said the car blew up. So. Oh no.
Well, there goes a top 2 or top 3 finish for Brandon Thornhill. Heartbreak. But I tell you, Logan Powers, he's got 30 laps to go. There's not going to be a whole lot to talk about in this race, Rachel. Hermie Sadler is a complete. Let's take a look. We'll watch and see where. See if we can go to a different. We're going to go up into the blimp mode. Okay, he's getting ready to come down the back stretch here. We'll wait for him to come across the front stretch, and then we'll take a look at where Hermie Sadler is. It's showing Hermie Sadler 1 lap down, so this will be a 1+ scenario as Logan Powers crosses the start-finish line right now. Hermie Sadler is 1 lap down entering turn 3. He was basically about halfway down the backstretch when I switched cameras, so he's about a lap and a half behind your leader. Logan Powers, not that I'm telling you what to do, but if you can hear me, all you got to do is ride for the rest of the race.
Right. Logan really does not have to do anything. Just stay clean. Just keep racing. And just not get into the wall. That's really all he has to do. And then he pretty much has this, sealed. The only thing would be if there would be a caution that would come out, but from what it looks like, the rest of the field is extremely spread out. So I don't really see a caution happening unless, somebody gets into the wall.
Yeah, if the caution came out, a couple of cars could take the wave around, and that would be Hermie Sadler and Brandon Murray. I was actually going to say we should talk about some of these other guys. So Brandon Murray has actually had some problems early in the race, but because of other people having problems in the race, he's now up to third position. He's one lap down. Don't think that he's going to catch. We'll look and see where he is relative to Hermie Sadler. Hermie Sadler is coming into turn 3 right now. Brandon Murray's coming out of turn 2. I don't really see him making up that much of a difference. It's 12 seconds. Though I don't think that's going to happen, to be completely honest with you. But Logan Power just continues to lead. Let's keep talking. Leonard Frost could have a really good night for himself here. He currently runs in the 4th position. He is 3 laps down, but I mean, 4th position, 3 laps down, it is what it is. Cade Ferguson, he is in 5th position, 3 laps down. Jeffrey Converse, this actually could be a battle between Converse and Ferguson before the end. Just 2 seconds separating them. Then Anthony Giuliano back out on track now. He is unfortunately 7 laps down. Andrew Brigante is 8 laps down. Brandon Thornhill still trying to get his car repaired. Now 10 laps down. Joseph Murata, 26 laps down. So unfortunately, those are the cars that are kind of left in the race. And just kind of looking at your leader here, continuing to turn laps. We're on 97 of 120. Yeah, I don't know what you want to talk about, Rachel.
Well, I mean, like you mentioned, the only ones that we could possibly see maybe battling something out would be
Converse and Ferguson.
Converse and Ferguson.
So I've got my camera on the two. I'm switching back and forth. We're down to 1.1 seconds. So Ferguson is losing time to Converse. Converse is making up some ground. There's 21 laps to go. He definitely has a shot if he just, if he keeps it off the wall, keeps it clean. He's definitely got a. I mean, he just made up 3/10 in that lap there. So Converse is coming quick.
Right. I mean, and that's really like the closest that we have. As far as a possible battle on track. Besides that, pretty much everybody else is pretty spread out. Because behind them is Anthony Giuliano. But I mean, he's pretty far back to where he's not gonna catch them anytime soon. So yeah, those would be the only two as of now. And Converse is really starting to close in that gap.
Seems like when he runs a good line, he makes up a lot of time. As we have, here we go. The 42 just pulls down, lets him go. I think there was a comfort level thing there. The 42 didn't want to have anything to do with it. He just backed out of it and let the 96 go. We'll see Jeffrey probably pull away here from the 42. He was coming on pretty strong. Looks to be running a good line. I think he'll continue to pull away from Cade. Hermie Sadler still running in the 2nd position. His last lap time was a 34.57. Fastest on the track last lap was actually the 13 of Brandon Murray. He ran a 30.181. Oh, I take that back. Leonard Frost was actually the fastest. He ran a 30.085. So he was the fastest on the track. Then Brandon Murray, then Logan Powers, and then Hermie Sadler.
wonder if Hermie is possibly just holding back, not conserving his tires, not trying to run as fast. That his lap time was a lot was slower than the rest of
Well,
the
this previous lap that he just ran, he ran 2/10 of. He was actually the fastest car on the track. So I think it's just a back and forth thing. A 10th here, a 10th there. You want to be as consistent as you can, obviously, but a 10th here, 10th there. It's going to go back and forth, back and forth. Hermie is now he's kind of keeping pace with the 98 in lap time. Brandon Murray was closing a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. He is now falling back to 12. He was about 12 seconds. He closed that gap. Now he's about 12 seconds behind. So I think the 13 has used his equipment up, and I think for the most part, the top 3 guys, top 4 guys even, just kind of need to run this thing out, run their race, and see what happens.
Right, I agree. I mean, even if, like you mentioned, Murray might have used up his tires and stuff, as long as he stays, consistent, doesn't get into the wall or anything, because he's pretty much he's by himself. It's not like he has anybody else that's around him. He should be able to, make it through without any issues.
Yeah, the closest competitor is another lap behind him, so he's got third. Every one of these guys right now has it wrapped up in a nice little package. As the 13 gets into the wall, does manage to keep it straight. Very good job of recovering the car. Well, I guess Brandon's just going to continue to run the car as hard as he can. So, Hermie Sadler, being smooth, is running the same or faster lap times than your leader. The leader doesn't need to turn fast lap times. He just needs to drive the car to the finish. At this point, and I don't mean to be mean, but he doesn't even have to race anybody. He doesn't even... He can lift early and pick up the throttle late and make sure that he stays out of the wall. Hermie Sadler can pass him and get back on the lead lap. Be a pride thing probably for the 98, but for me the pride is winning the race. So I don't see the 98 making any major mistakes here, but I'd make sure if I was in that car I wouldn't make any mistakes at all.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and like you mentioned, he doesn't really have to race. He can just kind of, just be patient with the car and just, just ride, not really, do much. And if for some reason Hermie Sadler does, possibly catch up with him, then just let him go instead of trying to race him, because, I mean, he would just be trying to make up a lap. So...
Yeah, and with 10 laps to go, that's just not going to happen. You're not going to make up a lap in 10 laps. So as long as Logan doesn't make any silly mistakes here, getting into the wall, turning himself, bringing out a caution flag, like I said, he's got this thing wrapped up. He's actually closing on Murray. It's still about a straightaway, but I mean, he could potentially put Murray a second lap down here. I don't think that will be his intention. As we look at Hermie Sadler coming off 2, Logan Powers is coming off turn 4 with just 9 laps to go. Now, I have been in this situation before, and the anticipation of it starts to get to you. Like, you have it wrapped up, but you get so nervous about making a mistake that you actually, like, for me, when I first started racing and I got into these types of situations where I had a huge lead or whatever, my leg would start to bounce. because I would get so anxious from it. So I'm sure he's got plenty of racing under his belt where he's not like that, but sometimes situations like this can actually be worse than racing somebody very hard for the win.
Oh, I mean that does make sense. And then also you could overthink things. You know, while you're just driving off by yourself like that. So hopefully, you know, he has a calm head and he's not, you know, he's not overthinking anything, and he's just, you know, just riding and not and just, you know, finishes the race clean. So.
All right, well, we're going to go inside the cockpit with your leader, the number 98 of Logan Powers, and we're going to crank it up here, let you ride around and listen to the sights and sounds. '98 crosses the start-finish line with just 4 laps to go. He does have some lap traffic in front of him. Don't think that it's going to come into play. We saw it there during the crank it up section. Going to be coming to 3 laps to go this time by Logan Powers, fully in command of this race. You know, I look back at the race and it's gone by pretty quick, but I think about Cameron Hearn and the problem that he had. We don't know exactly what it was, but a shame for him to get knocked out. He was the points leader. This will affect him slightly in the points. I don't think it's going to make a drastic difference, as our leader is coming up on lap traffic. It's not something that I would want to play with. I wouldn't. There we go. 42 pulls down low with 2 laps to go. And Brendan Thornhill, unfortunately, you know, having high hopes there, running in second place, and then has catastrophic failure. Currently sits in the 9th position. So we'll get the final running order here out shortly. As we exit turn 4, get ready to come down to 1 lap to go. Your leader, Logan Powers, crosses the start-finish line for his final lap here at Darlington Speedway. Runs up against the wall through 1 and 2, lifts ever so slightly, gets the car to turn down back in the throttle, and he's got Brandon Murray in his sights, so he almost was going to catch Murray here at the end of the race to put him 2 laps down. He must have actually wanted to do it because he got in the wall in 3 and 4. Not going to matter as he comes off turn 4. He's going to win here at Darlington Speedway with a massive gap of over a lap. So the race is going to be over here for Logan. Brandon Murray's got to run back to the flag stand to finish his race off. And then we're going to get these drivers up here and do some interviews. '98 already burning the house down, so to speak. Needs to be careful. I'm not sure if there's anybody out there that still needs to finish a lap. All right, I believe we are set up to go. I don't think we're gonna have. I'm not sure. I don't see him in here.
Yeah, Hermie Sadler's not in TeamSpeak.
All right.
So.
Well, we'll go ahead and bring up Brandon Murray and talk with him. Brandon Murray, the Surround, and Rachel in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Exciting night for you. You had a little bit of up and a little bit of down, and then back up. Talk to us about your night.
You ever ridden a roller coaster? That's kind of what it was like. We started up front. I think we started 5th or 6th. I don't remember. But kind of ran third there for a while. And I was battling with my buddy Brandon Thornhill and got her into the wall, so that kind of messed up our pit strategy a little bit. And if he hadn't have blown up, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're not sure what happened with him. I'll probably get some information after the race, but yeah, we saw him run in second. He went in and did his pit stop, and then the next thing I know, he's going back into the pits again. So very unfortunate for him, but like you said, benefited you. You come away here third place with third place points. That's got to be something to look forward to or to be happy about.
Yeah, that's going to help out a lot. We missed I think we missed the race last week, and we only get one drop race, so I still got to go out and earn as many points as I can, so I'm still somewhat competitive when this chase starts here. So third place is a really, really solid night. I think we got 5 bonus points for leading the lap too, so I'm pretty excited about it, ready to get to the chase and see what we can do there, but we got a ways to go.
Alrighty, well, it was, to be honest with you, it's kind of a long night, short for you guys, but kind of long up here with all the issues that some of the drivers had and the things that were going on. Field got really spread out. Logan almost put a second lap on you there at the end. I think we were saying just stay away, last thing he needed to do was just give away a win.
Right.
But again, congratulations on third place, and we're going to let you go. We're going to get the leader up here, or the winner up here. We're going to talk to him, and we're going to get out of here. Congratulations on third place.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys do as well.
Your shout outs real quick. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. Just Rated Gaming HQ for bringing me on board and letting me drive this Chevy for them. Auto Graphics for sponsoring this series. Again, what you guys do in the booth, our awesome admins around here, just everybody who makes this thing run.
Perfect. We appreciate it, and have a good night.
Hey, you too. Thanks, guys.
All right, we're going to bring up one of the guys that I have seen run really well, finally finish one off, and I'm going to hand it over to Katie. Why did I say that? Why do I always do that? Rachel.
That's okay. I knew what you meant. Logan, it's Rachel and Ron up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right. So congratulations on being in victory lane here at Darlington. So how's it feel?
Oh, it feels great. I joined this league a few weeks ago actually, and been talking to Joseph about it and saw it on Facebook. I was looking for a league, and not much more I could ask for. Green to checkers. There's nothing else you can ask for. There's good, clean racing in here. Tonight's Darlington, so it was definitely a tough place to get around, but it was pretty smooth sailing.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is a track that you like, but you obviously do extremely well at this track because you pretty much dominated this race. So, I mean, is this a track that you actually really like, or is this something, a track that you had to really put forth some effort because it wasn't really,
Yeah, well, Darlington is Darlington. It's a tough place, so I really like the track. It's if you're not careful and you overdrive the car, it's easy to get into the fence, and with a fast car and being out front, it's kind of hard to pace yourself. I know me and Cameron were going to have a good race there. I'm not sure what happened to him, but I was definitely looking in my rear view. I think a big help tonight was pitting in. This place is also tricky to get down on pit road. I saw a lot of people had trouble there, so I think just getting down into pit road smoothly and in a quick fashion kind of put me out front. And then obviously saving tires. Saving tires is huge in any kind of truck, Xfinity or Cup car, and that's kind of just what I always shoot for. I don't care if I'm fast in 10 laps, but if I can be at a decent pace within 30 laps before I have to pit, then that's usually what I shoot for.
Well, whatever strategy you pulled tonight, it obviously worked out in your favor. So, congratulations once again. Do you have any shout outs that you want to make?
Yeah, no, I just want to shout out the league for putting it on, and obviously you guys for broadcasting it. I was watching and listening, so I was taking some of your guys' advice when you're telling me to slow down. So I appreciate that, but I'm excited to come back next week.
Well, hopefully we didn't distract you with that. I'm sure you heard some of the comments that I had then, and I don't mean to steal it away from Rachel here, but was there any anxiety or anything, making you nervous there that when you have this ridiculous lead and anything could go wrong at any time?
Exactly, and that's the thing. You're out front, and it was nice. It's nice to race with Cameron. It's nerve-wracking when you race around him because you've got to hit your line, and he's so good that you just got to hit your marks. But it was actually tough once he wasn't ahead of me. Once I got the track position and I was out in front, because I didn't have anything to pace myself off of, and that's kind of what you can burn up your tires doing, is chasing people, or sometimes vice versa when you don't have anybody to go off of. So that was a little bit challenging at the end. I wanted to let those guys race because they're racing for second or whatever, and so I just kind of backed off. And even at that point, at the end of the runs, I was really not that fast. I had burned up my stuff quite a bit. So.
Alrighty, Rachel, it's all yours.
Well, I mean, once again, congratulations on first place finish, and so will we see you on Friday on the Cup car?
I'm gonna try. We'll see, but I'd like to. Now that I'm kind of in the league, I'd definitely like to focus on the Xfinity side. But Friday nights are kind of here and there. I'll definitely make it when I can, but Xfinity is definitely going to be locked in for me.
All right. Well, if we don't see you on Friday, then we'll definitely see you next week. Then.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right, and that was your winner tonight. Bring it home. The Darlington victory. Logan Powers in the number 98. Well, it was an interesting race, Rachel. I think some unfortunate circumstances kind of made it to where it was maybe a little less exciting than it could have been, obviously with Cameron Hearn having issues, and also Brandon Thornhill. I thought Thornhill was headed for a good finish, but others do others do benefit from that. So with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to bring up the unofficial race results, and we'll go through those real quick. Winning the race was Mr. Powers. Second place, Sadler. Third place, Murray. Fourth, Frost. Fifth, Converse. Sixth was Ferguson. Seventh, Giuliano. Eighth, Brigante. Ninth, Thornhill. 10th, Murata. 11th, Butler. 12th, Hearn. 13th, Goodenough. 14th, Gonis. 15th, Hearn. And 16th, Hayes. With the results being done and over with, last thing that I would say or that we might talk about is points. A lot of these guys probably did very well in the points tonight, Rachel. And that, no matter how good or bad you were, how far you finished behind, with a guy like Brandon Murray almost going 2 laps down, but finishing third place, it's going to be a massive points boost for him. So I think those guys will probably, I guess respect that fact that they may not have been the fastest guys out there, but a lot of guys made up points on people that had some bad luck.
Right. No, I agree. And also, I mean, even some of the guys that were further back, that were many laps down, the fact that they just got back out there and kept turning laps, I mean, that consistency when it comes to points can make a huge difference. Um, so, um, so we'll definitely see, when they get a lot closer to the chase, what this ends up doing. But yeah, I mean, definitely staying out there helps. So.
Alrighty, well, with Darlington in the books, we'll be headed to Richmond next week for a 100 lap race there. Appreciate everybody tuning in, watching here on Extreme Sim TV. Make sure you check us out, hit the like, subscribe. Got a lot of races we cover throughout the week. We'll be back here with LSRL on Friday night, and lots of great racing on Extreme Sim TV. Thank you to Rachel Thornhill for broadcasting with me, and again, apologies for one of these days I'm gonna figure out why I say that name. I don't know why, but
It's okay. No, glad to be here. So.
for all of us here at Extreme Sim TV, we appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the race and have a great night.